to you live from Batlantic Studios. So I'll do a quick back the drawing board, talk about comic books, so it's on my drawing table, do a little live multi-streaming. So, yeah, you can see my hands, see my face. I know, lucky duck, can't beat that. So, I'm gonna be using this brush pen for a little bit and kind of noodling away at this. And yeah, I want to try to come on these more often and do more live uh, videos. So I thought I'd just jump on quick right now. And of course, I don't have an eraser. So hope everyone's having a great Monday night. I think tonight is Monday night. So whenever you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook, hello. It's Monday night. It was an interesting day. Had a good day. Drawing, working on the oppressors, and of course, archive crossover. If you want to go to archivecrossover.com, that's where you can get my newest book. And really, the inspiration for doing these live videos is Dave Finch has live videos that he's been doing on YouTube, and it's just so much fun. Just so incredible to see him working. Such an incredible talent, such an amazing artist. So I was watching Dave Finch and Tyler Kirkham talking the other night, and I was like, oh man, I want to do live streaming like that where people can see my hands and my face at the same time. And so that's what we're attempting here. So if you see this, say hi um, wherever you're watching in the comfort of your own home. I'm not going to be on for that long. Just wanted to jump on and see if this works. So far, it looks like we are streaming and everything is working. Yeah. Yeah, that's working. Cool. So often what I'll do is I'll do Instagram lives. I find that those are really fun. Usually the interaction's pretty good. There's usually a lot of people scrolling past. You have people jump in for a minute and jump out, um, which I think makes more sense. I don't know if people are sitting back and relaxing and watching an hour long drawing demo. I mean, that's a pretty substantial chunk of time, but um, I still think it's cool to be able to do this, to be able to reach people or find people that like my work and want to support it. So archivecrossover.com is where you can go right now and grab a comic book and vote for which variant cover you think I should use for my Tyler Kirkham Final Boss variant cover. So if that's something that you're interested in, if that's up your alley, do it. Jump in. Let me know what you think. I think they all look real cool. So I hope you all think they look real cool too, because there's a bunch of good choices up there. There's 3 of them. And currently, option B is in the lead. So I don't know if anyone has a preference, but currently B is in the lead. So if you like B, that one might be the variant cover you get. So it'll be a surprise to both of us. So archivecrossover.com. Yeah, so today, Monday, just drawing a lot. Play golf, which I like to do, in the afternoon, try to get some exercise. It's been a really, challenging year with everything, the pandemic and everything. So it's been really tough. I hope wherever you are, you're doing well, staying safe, staying healthy. It has been challenging, but I think the one thing that's really kind of helped me is having comic books and art and being able to work a lot, being able to make a lot of stuff I'm really excited about. I think that being able to create and be creative has always been something I've really enjoyed, and it's always been something I'm really passionate about. So it's been a real treat, a real thrill, a real joy, a real pleasure to be able to spend time making stuff, and all the drama, all the garbage, all the BS. It always kind of fades away when I'm able to just kind of sit and draw and make stuff I'm excited about. So that's really what it boils down to. I know might be seemingly oversimplified, but I really just like creating stuff and improving too as a creator. I look back at some of my earlier stuff and I'm like, I'd do that differently. I'd draw that differently, or I'd do that differently, whatever it is. I'm critical of my own work, so it's nice to be able to have a record of what I've created. And I think that that's kind of what comic books are. It's sort of a time capsule of a time and a place. Probably similarly to how people that produce movies feel, right? So they're like, I remember the experience of creating that movie different than the response it got, or different than the fan interaction with it, right? The experience of creating the movie is different than the experience of watching the movie. And so you might have a great experience creating a movie or making something. It's like, oh, that was such a fun time in my life. I remember that time when I was whatever is happening, and or you might, and the work might not be something that connects with people, and then you have something that you've created that during a really challenging, difficult time in your life. People are like, oh, I love that stuff. That was your best stuff. And it's like, oh, it was a really hard time for me. So I think with anything, art, subjective, creativity, subjective, but I'm always striving to improve as an illustrator, an artist, cartoonist, and just thrilled to be able to draw, you know. I thought back when I was in college that I was like, I love drawing, but I don't know if I want to do it all day. You know, it's kind of my, and part of me was like, I don't think that I'll find an audience. Hello, Tim. I hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're having a great night. Is this working? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me and the audio is working. I'm trying to multi-stream, so Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. I want to be where all the people are. I want people to see what I'm working on. So if you can hear me and if this audio is working, just let me know. I think it is, but I look like I'm saying things, and hopefully you can hear me. I think so. Just talking about creativity and art, and making comic books. And yeah, I'd be interested to hear what everyone is reading. It's always kind of fun to hear, like, oh, what's the book everyone is reading? What comic books are people excited about? Is the new Moon Knight something people are excited about? What is it? What is the new thing? The Last Ronin, the Bishop book? I call it just the Ben Bishop book. Is that one the one that people are psyched about? Seems like people are super psyched about that book. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, this is a fun little commission I'm doing. Sleepwalker and Nighthawk or Darkhawk. I keep calling him Nighthawk, but I think it's Darkhawk. If this is Darkhawk or Nighthawk, let me know. I'm not sure which it is. Hola, Danielle. Colombia es un gusto. Hola, me llamo Dylan. Por favor, mi burro es muy gordo. See. I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. I took a couple of classes in Spanish. I don't know if you can tell, Daniel, but I don't speak Spanish. But hola, hey, friends from wherever. It's always fun to hear people catching these from other countries. A lot of Brazilian artists, comic book fans, comic book readers. I'd love to go to Brazil. Seems like they have a cool comic book scene there. There's a lot of, I mean, it's always kind of interesting and exciting to see and hear that people love comic books from all over the world, you know? Because we think about like, manga in Japan, obviously massive, but you don't really hear about all these other, you know, other countries that are producing content and creating art and have artists. But there's a lot of really talented people from all over the world producing really cool stuff. And yeah, so thanks for stopping in and saying hi. And go to archivecrossover.com. Type that into the chat box. I'll do it. So I'm going to try to come on. Hey, all right. I'm going to try to come on as often as I can this week. Now that I got this setup that I like, where I'm able to kind of stream and chat with people. So definitely go to DylanDistraction.com, which is my YouTube channel, and click the notification button so that you get notified when I'm live. That's probably going to be where you're going to catch me. I don't know if Facebook will, you know, notify people of live streams. I really don't know if that's something that works as consistently. So I think YouTube probably the place you're going to want to be. And they'll probably be in the evenings like this. So if you're like, oh man, I love watching Dylan draw at around 8 p.m. or 9-ish p.m., then you're in luck, because I'm thinking I'm going to be doing more of these. So if you're like me and you enjoy watching people draw and chatting with them while they make art, You're going to have a great time because it'll be super fun. What else? So, yeah, that's what's going on with me. And, yeah, working on The Oppressors, the trade paperback collection. I'm re-inking everything, which has been really great. I mean, it's a lot of work. I mean, it's a lot of pages. That's the thing. You realize it's like how come people don't have these massive, huge omnibus Akira tomes? Why can't you just produce an Akira book every? It's like, how long it takes to make that many pages? It's insanity. So that's why you break it up individual issues. Because if people had to wait for an entire book, it's like a book a year. So I wanted to get on like a monthly schedule myself. So that's why I did makecomicschool.com. That's my Patreon. And I wanted to just get into a rhythm where I could send a book out mail order to people every month. And so Make Comics Cool is just my ability, my way to be like, yeah, I can create a comic book every month, print it, distribute it, and then collect those into a trade and provide it for patrons, but also have it for like a Kickstarter or any other crowdfunding platform, whatever people are on these days. So that's what I have been doing, which has been really nice. I like that. I like the immediacy of creating something and then having it ready to go. I really enjoy that. So I love comics. I mean, that's just what it really boils down to. It's like, people aren't making comics because they hate comics. People make comics because they just love comics. So I think that's important to remember. Nobody's doing this because they hate them. Everybody's doing this because they love them. And I'm hoping that everyone is successful at this. Everyone that enjoys making content, creating art, telling stories, hope that they're all able to make comic books that they love and enjoy, and people find them and appreciate them. It's as simple as that. So this is just me going in with some different gray washy textures. And really, I'm just kind of noodling away at this. Didn't have a super tight plan going in, as with most of my illustrations. I didn't go into it with a super tight plan. Shocker, I know. Everyone looks so prepared. But, part of me wants to just keep these loose and fun and just kind of experimental. And I want to be able to produce them and design and draw them rapidly. I don't want this to take a week. Nobody wants to sit around and wait a week. I want these to be made pretty fast and kind of just fun and loose. So that's what I'm doing. And I want there to be happy accidents, right? I don't want to get so precise that it loses any of its spontaneity. So that's how I'm currently creating these. I'm going to try to do them all week. So tune in, go to DylanDistraction.com, which is my YouTube channel, and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. And I'm going to try to bring on some guests. That'd be fun. Having people on that want to chat with me. Give me somebody to talk to. So if you're like, oh, I'd love to talk to Dylan while he's drawing, it could happen to you. You might be the guest. So get ready. Get ready, America. What am I doing? Oh, I should have something to drink. So I'm going to have a seltzer water. I've forgotten which brush I was using. I think it was this one. Nope. Guessed wrong. Must have been this one. There we go. So yeah, I love these two characters. This was a really fun suggestion I got to draw them. And I penciled them up pretty tightly. Then I printed out the blue lines. So then this is the blue lines. You can see that. Yeah. So just a fun way to do this. This kind of character is right up my alley. Kind of a creepy monster guy and a dude with a helmet. That's my jam. Creepy monster guy and dude with a helmet. Doesn't get any better than that. So I think it's really going to tie all this together when I smash in this giant black. This is going to make it shine, he says. Trust me. Don't trust me. This is loose. Come on, ink. Do your thing. It's not working. I mean, this isn't all dried out. Kind of working. I would like more ink than this, please. Oh, here we go. So yeah, I'm using pretty cheap paper. I like it because I'm not precious with it. You know, like if you get a really expensive sheet of Bristol, you're like, oh, geez. It might take ink better. It might take pencils better. But I always feel kind of, makes me kind of freeze up a little bit. Just because I'm like, oh, this is a really nice piece of Strathmore. Like, oh no, what if it. But with these cheap pieces, I think they hold ink pretty well. I mean, they do get a little gummy. But oh, that's kind of part of the fun is seeing what the ink's gonna do. You know, is it gonna totally smear out, or is it gonna hold together? It's kind of part of the excitement of it, the spontaneity of it. So, and it helps me stay a little looser because I know it's not some precious piece of paper. I can't got a whole pad of them, so I'm not too worried if it's like, oh, this is my last piece. But everybody's different. Some people prefer, you know, to use Strathmore's good. Eon does a great job. People are just raving about Eon. It's like, yeah, man, I've been using Eon for years. People just finding Eon boards. This guy's a good dude. Makes good paper. It's like, get on board. Where you been? So I find that doing these sort of compositional things, these sort of shapes, right? Clouds, smoke, debris, splatter, helps to kind of sell the whole composition. Like you see Rob Liefeld's stuff, and I'm a huge Rob Liefeld fan, but oftentimes he'll have characters just kind of floating in the middle of the page. You know, I've seen his originals, and you're like, oh wow, this looks so much different, more different than when it's got color. You know, the color really grounds everything with his work, and so I don't have the luxury of, you know, somebody dropping computer color and making this thing really have dimension. So what I do is I add these kind of loose, inky blocks, these chunks of ink, kind of like you're carving, maybe. Like, oh yeah, carving a picture. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but that's what I do. And yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. So yeah, I'm doing a variant cover for Tyler Kirkham's Final Boss. Super psyched. Tyler's a good dude. It's very nice of him to allow me to do a variant cover. He's got a bunch of great ones already available on his campaign. You should definitely check it out. Support that book. If you like his work, like you like my work, or I love his work, so you should definitely look at his work. If you don't know it, Tyler Kirkham, Final Boss, available now. Look it up. It's cool. And yeah, I just was talking to him today, working on the inks, because I mean he came up in Top Cow working under Silvestri. Same thing with Dave Finch. And those guys who came out of that studio, it's like Michael Turner, uh, Kirkham, Finch, like those guys really set the bar so high and just really, you know, that's what I'm a fan of, that era. I'm a fan of that style. I'm a fan of that whole studio. And so hearing him and Dave Finch talk last night about their experiences is really, really cool. So very fun to listen to. And it does, of course, make me envious. I'm like, oh man, that was back in the day when there's like an ad in the back of, you know, Cyberforce saying, hey, we're just looking for anybody that can hold a pencil. Come on out to LA. Work with Mark Silvestri. I was, a little kid. And I'm like, man, that would have been cool. That would have been cool. And hearing those guys that they did it, they're just like, yeah, moving to LA. Living in LA, working under Silvestri, and at a time when comic books were just crazy. They're just taking anybody that could hold a pencil. And even if you showed up and you're like, I can't really hold a pencil, they're like, we'll figure it out. Seems like back then, they're like, even if you can't hold a pencil, we'll make it work. You're a warm body. We need warm bodies. And they just churned through dudes. Just brought people in. Meat grinder. Spat them out. But the people that excelled. So you get the Dave Finches of the world. You get the Tyler Kirkhams of the world. Those guys that put in those 10,000 hours to create, just phenomenal illustrators that can just hit after hit. The only bummer part I'm finding now is that a lot of the guys, the creators I'm a fan of, they're only doing covers, and it's like Tyler was talking about how he wasn't able to do a Batman book for some reason. And I was like, oh man, him on a Batman book? Oh, it would have been so great. Now we get Final Boss, which is awesome, but would have been cool to see him on a Batman book, because he's done Deathstroke, which is one of my favorite series of all time, and then he's done, what else has he done? He's done kind of random, more recently, just random stories, Lobo story, Killer Croc story, but to have him on like a monthly or a regular interior artist on a book. Same thing with Dave Finch, just does covers, Since Forever Evil, it's like, oh man, we need another Forever Evil. I hope they create like an absolute edition of Forever Evil. That would be super good. I really love Forever Evil. One of my favorites of all time, and that's Richard Friend on those inks. Richard Friend, also a really good dude. Has a really entertaining YouTube channel I watch quite a bit. Seems to be another guy who's just loves making comics, loves talking about comics. And those are definitely the kind of creators I connect with and respond to. People that just love art, love making art. So yeah, this is going pretty okay. I don't know if it's in focus, but you get what you get, right? Get what you get. You're like, is it perfect? No. Is it good? It's good enough. There's no guarantees with any of this stuff. So I'm going to keep drawing here, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. Please go to archivecrossover.com right now. Grab sketch cover, grab some Archive Universe books, whatever you want. Grab it there, archivecrossover.com. I'm going to share this now to Atlantic Studios Facebook page. I haven't been on Facebook as much. It's one of those things that I like Facebook. I enjoy it, but often I find that I'm on Instagram more. So, and even YouTube more. It seems like with Facebook, I'm just not scrolling away like I used to. I don't know. It's kind of lost some of its luster for me. But I remember back in the day being on MySpace and being like, this is the greatest thing ever. Nothing's ever going to get better than MySpace. And then it went away. And you're like, I don't know why I spent so much time there. It's like, why was that so important? Seems like it's really not that important. I think the same thing happens with any of these sort of social media platforms. You're like, oh, wow, Facebook was such a big deal for so long. I wonder if it'll get to the point where just nobody cares anymore. Maybe. Guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm surprised when MySpace died. I thought for sure that would. I mean, just so many eyeballs. It's like, how does that just go away, right? They tried to bring it back as like a music site, and that didn't seem to last very long or go anywhere. So I think there's probably a lesson in there somewhere, like how things that seem like a big deal at the time can become not a big deal at all, rather briskly. That's probably a good life lesson. If there's nothing else to take away from this, take away the life lesson. The things that seem like a big deal at the time aren't always a big deal, right? And things that seem like they're gonna be small potatoes, who knows? Who knows what's gonna be important in 10 years, 5 years, 100 years? Guess we don't know. So all you can do is try to create stuff you're proud of at the time. Try not to let negativity drag you down. Try to be positive and find things that you are excited about. And don't worry if people try to bring you down. It's often about them, not about you. You just gotta kind of stay above it and keep going. Just keep going. Whatever you're working on, do the best you can. Be excited. Share that excitement, enthusiasm. Find other people that are excited and enthusiastic. And live your best life. That's my motto. It's a long motto. I'm just psyched that this works with me multi-camera streaming. It's kind of fun. It's cool to be on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch all at the same time. Let's see if I can say hi over here. Hi. It's pretty slick. Pretty slick. So yeah, if you have any suggestions for people that you'd like for me to chat with while I draw, let me know. I'll send them a linky link and I'll talk with them. We can talk about what their favorite food is, what their favorite color is, what they think their biggest regret is. We'll just go over all the big ones. Favorite food, favorite color, biggest regret, thing you're most embarrassed about that you've never told anyone. So, the light stuff. The light, easy questions. I'll throw them softballs. Only softball questions. All right, so now this is I can share right there. This is a clutch pencil, right? So it has lead in it, but this isn't lead. This is like color pencil graphite. So it doesn't really erase, but it goes on like a colored pencil. Kind of fun. And it enables me to kind of throw in these tones. It darkens up the gray wash and enables me to have it. And of course, since it is colored pencil graphite, it breaks rather easily, and I don't like that. It's super soft. But colored pencil graphite can have a light touch. Don't be so rough. Yeah, that looks dope. Looks like I know what I'm doing. This is gonna be like Jim Halpert on The Office. I'll just like look at the camera, make a glib remark. So yeah, I'm listening to a bunch of good stuff right now. A bunch of good hardcore bands. Turnstile, quite good. I recommend Turnstile. The Descendants just put out a new old album. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm planning on it. I'm a huge Descendants fan. Who else is good? I get caught up in these documentaries on YouTube like hardcore in the 90s. And I'm like, oh, tell me more, internet. And they're talking about a bunch of Syracuse hardcore bands. I was like, oh man. Hey, Andre Gutierrez, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man. Very nice of you to stop in and say hi. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. And where are you saying hi from? What part of the world? I'm in sunny southern Maine, East Coast. It was warm here today in the 80s. For southern Maine, that's like a heat wave. Usually we're rather temperate. Yeah, and if you haven't yet, check out my work at archivecrossover.com. Grab some books, and I'll mail them to you. Michigan. How is Michigan? I've never been to Michigan. I've been to Chicago. I don't know if that's anywhere near Michigan. I feel like it is. In my mind, I think it is. What do I know about Michigan? I know that they have the Wolverines, and Tom Brady played for Michigan. But I also know that I liked Michigan Wolverines because I loved Wolverine, the comic book character. So when I was a kid, we'd play like, who's your favorite college team? I'd be like, Michigan, the Wolverines. It's the only one I could think of. Yeah, it seems like it's hot all over right now. Yeah. It's the thing about summer is when you're a kid and you don't have to go to school, you're like, summer is the greatest thing ever. I don't know why would anyone hate summertime, right? And then when you get older, you're like, oh no, summer's the same as every other month. You still have to do all the same things except you do them in the sweltering heat, right? It's not like it's a vacation for 3 months. It's like it's just hot. So I think I like summer. I like being hot. I like it's hard to be productive though. That's the thing that bums me out is because, in the winter when we were, in the middle of the lockdown or whatever, I was getting a lot done because I just wasn't going anywhere. I was, just sitting around drawing all day and creating. So in that sense, it was really different. I didn't have conventions. I didn't have a studio. I didn't have anywhere to go and nobody to talk to. So I could just create all day, which I'd go sit at the beach in my car and draw. Rather be cold than hot. See, Andre, I don't know, man. Cold hurts. I always feel like if I'm cold, it just saps all the energy out of me. I'd rather have a good sweat going, and maybe that's because I'm from a climate in the East Coast where it's not that hot that often. Today it's in the 80s, and it's like I went out, I got exercise, I went golfing, I went to the pool. Like, I was able to get stuff done, stay active. The sunshine feels great. I like it, but cold's the worst. Like with cold, I mean, it's so hard to be cold. I don't want to be one of those guys that's just like, I'm complaining about the weather. But hot's hard, hot's difficult. But I think I'd take hot over cold. I don't know. But I respect anyone's opinion. I respect anybody that prefers cold over hot. I get it. Hot can be real dangerous, especially, you look at like Arizona or Seattle. Seattle was cooking. It's just brutal. People just not able to handle it. But I think it depends on where you are. Obviously, it depends on where you are. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Go to archivecrossover.com if you want to grab copies of Archive Universe, my book. Would you like me to show you the books? Okay. Archivecrossover.com right now available. Archivecrossover.com. You get issue 2, you get issue 1, you get the raw edition showing all my raw pencils. Super thrilled with how these books came out. Gotten rave reviews. People really seem to get a kick out of it. So go to archivecrossover.com. Grab some books and let me know which variant cover, which Tyler Kirk and Final Boss variant cover you think I should choose. So grab a Tyler Kirkham Final Boss variant cover. And let me know what you're excited about reading. I'm always excited to hear what other people are looking forward to reading. What books are coming out that have been released or going to be released that you're looking forward to. I haven't seen much lately that I'm super psyched about. You know, there haven't been a lot of things where I'm like, wow. But Scott Snyder just announced he's doing a Dark Horse Comixology exclusive Snyderverse. Snyderverse. So yeah, I'm excited for whatever Scott Snyder does. That dude is just such a great writer, and he's got some A+ list talent coming on those books. Thank you, Andre. Yeah, go to archivecrossover.com. There should be a link that I posted. If you love Demon Slayer, you're going to love archivecrossover.com. I don't know if that's true, but that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So go to... It's hard to type and do this at the same time. But, yeah, go there. I don't know if that link works, but yeah, there's a lot of great... Yeah, people are psyched about manga. It seems like that's really what's moving the needle right now is just manga. And I was actually asking, I think it's just asking people, like, what would you qualify as manga? Like, what do you think is manga? Like, what's the definition of it, right? Is it the style? Is it the format? Is it just the stories? Like, what about it makes it that? You know, it seems like it's a very... Everybody has a really specific idea in mind of what that is, but I don't know specifically what that is. You know, it's like, oh, you know it when you see it. It's like, well, what does that mean? But what people decided or told me when I asked, like, oh, it has to be from Japan by Japanese creators. I'm like, oh, okay, really? It's like, I was kind of surprised by that. It's like, so only Japanese creators living in Japan can create manga? I was like, that seems rather specific. And that's what I was told. I mean, it's like, geez, it seems like, so if you're Japanese living in another country, that doesn't count? Or if you're living in Japan but you weren't born there, like that's not, that doesn't count? So interesting that it seems like you could make a horror movie anywhere. It's a horror movie. You could, live in any country, make a movie, people go, that's a horror movie. But to make manga, it has to specifically be from this region. See, I was wondering about that, Andre. That seemed to be kind of a miss. I was like, isn't Empowered, like, isn't that a manga? And that's not. But I don't know. I mean, I hate to sound like I'm ignorant to it, but it's like, I love Akira. I love Ghost in the Shell. I think Empowered is great. I would consider all those to be manga. Are they not? I think they are. Maybe I'm wrong. It's like, shit, maybe I'm wrong. It's like, I don't think what I'm doing is manga. Wouldn't call it that, but I don't know if other people would call it that. It's like, I'm not really drawing in that style, but maybe it's not the style that makes it that genre. Hey, Mike, forgot to put the vote in after backing. I chose B. Ooh, B. Mike, B is very popular. And congrats to you, man. You want to plug your thing, super psyched to see all the success you're having. You're grinding hard, and that's kind of what it takes, man, when you're trying to do any of these sort of campaigns. You got to be in there, and you got to be all the time and every day, and that's what you're doing, and it's so awesome to see it all coming together. So definitely post away if anybody thinks they want to plug it. Andre, yeah, I think that with any sort of comic book genre, I always am a little hesitant or leery when it's like, yeah, only this person can create that. And it's like, oh, okay, I thought like everybody could create anything they wanted and call out whatever they wanted, but that's not necessary. I guess I'm misinformed or being overly optimistic. It's like, if I want to make a horror movie, I don't have to be from Des Moines, Idaho. It's like, I don't have to be from Westchester. I don't have to be from Brooklyn. It's like, no, you want to make a horror movie, make a horror movie and call it a horror movie. But I don't know. Maybe that's naive of me. It makes me just feel kind of sad if it's like no, only this person can tell that story. It's like, I think anybody can tell any story and call it any kind of genre they want. Maybe. And Andre, yes, if you want to be a manga artist, creator, I know a lot of students. I've had a lot of students that love manga. That's what they're into. They want to make manga. And it's like, why would you tell them that they can't? Why would you tell them that what they're making isn't? Seems like it's like, no. If anything, you want more creators. Yeah. If you want to make manga, make a manga. Whatever that means to you. I hate to throw the doors wide open, but and again, maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm being naive. Possibly. I often talk about things that I have no clue what I'm talking about. So very, very possible. I like manga. I enjoy manga. I wouldn't call what I'm doing manga necessarily, but I'm definitely influenced by it. And I love the format. I love the paper stock that they use. I love that they have long stories. Akira is obviously an incredible story. I love that pace of action that they have. I love the energy that those books have. I grew up reading Ghost in the Shell, Shiro Masamune. I love the anime. Definitely something I'm influenced and inspired by, even if it's not 90s Image Comics, which are my first love. I know all those guys were brought up reading that kind of comic books too. There's a guy on TikTok who's making a manga. He's not Japanese. He's getting into. I think, unfortunately, with comics right now, it's a weird time, and I think I don't know personally. I know it's been strange. Publishing has been, seems like it's been really stressful and strange, and distribution and conventions and social media. It seems like there's a lot going on, and a lot of people have opinions. It's a lot of stress, and I just want people to make stuff that they're proud of and excited about, and then share it with the world and find an audience that love it. And I think anytime we start saying, well, you can't make this and you shouldn't make that, it seems, I don't know. It's like, what do you hope to gain out of that by trying to prevent people from creating? It's like, if you create something and it's, like, I don't know. That's my personal opinion. And my belief is, if you want to make a manga wherever you're from, go for it. What's the worst that can happen? People say it sucks. People hate you. Meh. Whatever. Do it. Do it. Have fun. The world needs more creative people creating things. That's my belief. More, not less. I want more artists, more creators, more content, more things in the world that people are excited about, inspired about. I hope that for everyone. So that's what I think. Mike, no thank you. Oh, man, so nice of you. So thrilled for you. I'm thrilled to be able to see the progress, man. I remember when you're like, I got this idea. I want to do this. I want it to be big. I want to create all this, like this world building, and got all these stories I want to tell. And I want to take it on the road. I want to bring in a bunch of creators. And I was like, yeah, do it, man. I mean, now's the time. There's never been a better time to put stuff out there and try to build an audience. You look at Dave Finch, you look at Tyler Kirk, and these guys who I'm huge fans of. They're doing creator-owned stuff. You look at Scott Snyder, a writer who I think is the top writer in the world right now, doing creator-owned stuff. It's like Donnie Cates, Kids Love Chains. It's like, it's not an accident that these creators are like, I gotta just go out and make this stuff. You can't be sitting around waiting for someone to tell you, okay, your turn. It's like, no. Go, make stuff. Do awesome stuff, make awesome stuff. That's how we get more creative content in the world. That's how we grow the comic book industry. Just make stuff you're proud of and excited about. Andre, what is my comic book about? Oh, and Mike, if you need any more art, you need anything from me, let me know. Anything you need, but whatever you want. Blah, blah, blah. Happy to do it. Let me know. Andre, my book, archivecrossover.com. it's all of my Archive Universe characters. So I've created like all these characters and all these books, and I wanted them to all kind of meet. So it's pretty epic. It's kind of funny. There's some humor. There's some action. Um, there's some time travel in it. It's kind of insane. So you should definitely check it out. I think it's really fun. I really enjoyed making it. I think that's always kind of the sign of a good project, is when you're like, I can't wait to wake up every day and make this fun thing I get to do. So I'm super psyched about it. I think it looks great. So go to archivecrossover.com right now, grab the full set of books and the Tyler Kirkham variant cover, and sit back and enjoy. If you like manga, I think you'll like what I'm doing. I don't know why I think that, but I think that. I feel as though I'm inspired by a lot of that sort of silly, zany action, and that's definitely manga to me. So I wouldn't call the kind of comics I create manga, but I definitely am inspired by it. Yeah, 100, check it out. Let me know what you think, buddy. I'll put the link in here again. See if the links work. Yeah, there you go. Jump in. Yeah, if anybody's watching this replay and they see that link and they're like, I don't know, Dylan's work, I haven't really seen it before. I don't really know if this is a good jumping in point. Archive Universe is the best work I've done yet. It's my most ambitious project thus far, and I think it's really fun and really enjoyable, and I'm excited to share it with the world. So definitely check it out. Subscribe here on YouTube. Hit the bell, notifications. I'm going to be going live. I try to go live quite a bit. I'm trying to figure out a way to do these lives and Instagram lives, but I don't think I can. So I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm streaming on all the platforms, and just kind of noodling away on this drawing. And it's fun to have interaction. These are fun. And I'd like to have guests on. So yeah, Mike, if you want to come on and chat, you should totally come on and chat. I'll have you on my channel here. We can talk about good and evil, and what your plans are moving forward, and what you want to do with the book. So yeah, shoot me a message. Try to line up some chit chat time. I'd like to have a bunch of people on, but I don't know if people want to talk to me. Of course people want to talk to me. I'm charming, right? That's what I bring to the table. Charmageddon. So yeah, just going through drawing. I don't even know these characters' names. Nighthawk, Shadowhawk. No, it's not Shadowhawk. Nightwatch, Hawk Knight. I don't know. Darkhawk. Darkhawk. I think his name's Darkhawk. I think Darkhawk. I think a Darkwing Duck. I don't know why. I don't think his name is Darkwing Duck. I think that name's taken. But I think it came out okay. I had fun drawing it. That's all that really matters. How long have I been drawing? I don't even know. Do I watch anime? Yes, I watch Ghost in the Shell. I watched Akira. Those are kind of the two classics. I don't watch it consistently. I don't watch One Punch. I don't watch My Hero Academia. I don't have time. I'm sure they're good. I mean, obviously, people love them. I know of them, but it feels like all the stuff I watched was back in the 90s. I don't know if it's still relevant or popular, but I'd love to have recommend if you have suggestions, right? If there's anime you think are great, I'd love to check them out. I love cartoons. So have I ever thought about making a TikTok? No, I don't know. It seems like I do reels on my Instagram, and that's about. So yeah, go to DylanAndrewsArt.com if you want to connect with my other social media, my Instagram, and all those fun things. And so I do a lot of reels on there, which is fine, but it's not my primary focus. You know, it's like you see a lot of these people, and it's like their focus is just to do those. It's like, oh no, I just post what I'm working on. It's like I'm not specifically setting aside time in my day where I'm like, I got to have a viral TikTok video of me dancing. It's like it seems like most of the internet now is just people trying to get viral TikTok videos of dancing. Am I wrong? I don't know. is that anyone else's experience? I'm like, is that what we're becoming? Is that what this social media is devolving into? People dancing? I mean, that lady in the wedding dress doing that funny dance, that's a funny dance down the street. Like, but I don't need to see it 100 million times. Like, I get it. It's funny. And then I see all the people doing the copy of it. I'm like, okay, it's funny. Maybe I'm sounding like a grumpy old man. Back in my day, we didn't have TikToks. Naruto. I've heard of Naruto. Yeah, I like anime. But I don't know. I'm really kind of picky about stuff. You know, I kind of disconnect if I find it's getting slow. You know, I like a lot of the DC animated stuff, and a lot of that has an anime feel to it. The recent movies, they were for a while there felt very anime inspired, and again, I don't know if that qualifies as anime, but those DC Direct movies, it's about as close to anime as you can get. It's probably even produced by people that produce anime. It feels like it's just the same sort of animators, in my opinion. I don't know, but I'd say those DC animated films are just like phenomenal. And they started doing new ones, and the new ones are really good too. There's a new Superman one I really liked, and then like a Justice League-ish one I thought was super dope. So yeah, I love cartoons. I watch a lot of cartoons. I watch a lot of Batman Beyond, to be completely genuine. I just kind of throw that on and watch that all the time. 720 episodes. That's too many episodes. Too many episodes. 720 episodes is like a gajillion episodes. That's like so many. I don't have that kind of attention span. I don't have that kind of attention span. All right, what am I doing now? So yeah, Darkhawk, Sleepwalker. This looks like how I draw. People, hopefully you dig it. What else am I doing on this? He's got wings. That all seems good. Just kind of looking around at it now, like what else needs to be done. Let's throw in some white. Charmageddon. Is Charmageddon? Should I copyright that? Should that be my new guy? Charmageddon. Mike, I think maybe Charmageddon's going to be maybe that's our collab. Maybe that's our collaborative project. Charmageddon. Let's pitch it right now. All right, so Charmageddon takes place in a not too distant future where scientists have created a mind control device. Okay, hear me out here. We're just pitching. So it's a mind control device, and it goes horribly wrong and escapes the lab somehow in a test subject. All right, this is going well. Okay, so he's a test subject, and he's able to manipulate people through his pheromones. Okay, all right, Mike, stay with me. Charmageddon. Here we go. This book's writing itself. So he's kind of like a Frankenstein monster, maybe, where he doesn't know how he's able to affect people or why he's able to manipulate them. He was raised in a lab by these scientists who are trying to create a weapon, and so all right, so he can manipulate people with his pheromones, and so then they have to release other mutated test subjects that are able to control like anger and rage and fear. And so he fights them with his charm control power, right? His ability to charm them. maybe. I don't know. That might be a little lost. But then it creates some sort of giant explosion or chaos happens, and that's the Charmageddon. That's like where everything goes to hell. I love it. I think this might be I might pitch this image. You and me, buddy. Start writing it. You're gonna have to bankroll it. I'll draw it. Start the Kickstarter campaign. Start the clock. We're on the clock. Yeah, it'd be fun to design a character that has charm powers, right? Can charm people. Who's some sort of lab experiment gone wrong, who's broken out. I think of it kind of like Stephen King's The Stand, right? Or you run into all these sort of doomsday people, and then of course the more vicious versions of him. The experiments that they tried and failed before him. Trying to control rage or anxiety or sadness or sorrow. Those could all be the people that they throw in his path to try to prevent him from manipulating and controlling, because he's the most powerful person in the world, right? Charmageddon, the guy, the main character, he's with that. If that's your superpower, that anyone within smelling distance of your pheromones, I don't know if it's pheromones, but because then how would you control people over the TV? If you could manipulate people on that level. Oh, that's kind of like the Wonder Woman movie, Wonder Woman 84. So maybe that's too close to that. Hey, good talking with you, Andre. Wonderful chatting with you. Is it too Maxwell Lord for my Charmageddon character? Maybe. But I don't know. I think we could make it different. Fun to think about. Yeah, man. Wonderful chatting with you. Yeah, subscribe on YouTube, TillingDistraction.com. Go to archivecrossover.com if you want to grab copies of my books and vote on what cover you think should be selected for my Tyler Kirkham Final Boss variant. B. Cover B is in the lead. So if you're like, oh man, I'm psyched to get B, you might get B. Maybe not. I don't know. Anything can happen. And I'm going to try to come on more often this week. Because it's fun to do these. I like chatting with people. So tune in between 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And go on YouTube or Facebook. And I'll try to interact and say hi and chat with people. And we can keep pitching the Charmageddon character. Yeah, it was fun to watch Tyler Kirkham and Dave Finch last night doing their thing. Those guys are just like rock stars, and just nice guys. Like, I've emailed Dave Finch, he's just a nice, normal Canadian guy. Tyler Kirkham, nice, normal dude. Everybody's really cool, It's not a lot of they're good dudes to support because they're just good dudes. So it's nice to be able to support good dudes. So here we go with this drawing. I think I'm wrapped up. So I think we're good. If you haven't yet, please go to archivecrossover.com, grab some books, vote on which cover you think should be selected as my Tyler Kirkham Final Boss variant cover. And keep an eye out. I'm going to try to do more of these live drawing videos. I enjoy doing them. And now that I got this simulcast going with the chit chat and draw. So, which is kind of a nice change instead of just drawing here in my room by myself alone. So, what do you know? Get to talk with people. Kind of a novel idea. So, all right. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Thanks so much for watching. And archivecrossover.com. And see ya.